Hello and welcome. I'm so glad that you could join with me today. I'm going to pull a few cards for the collective and see what comes up. There's lots of messages popping out of the cards today, I see. Oh, yes. So we're going to start off here with a message to those individuals who are so frustrated. Things are cycling back. It feels as though we have like we have just run through molasses all of a sudden. There is this incredible slow down energy that's pulling us back from accomplishing things at the speed that we were attempting to accomplish them at. And it's not a deterrent. It's not a spirit's telling me this is the wrong. No, it's not. Spirit is asking you to slow down. There's some planning and some preparation that needs to be done. There's some learning that needs to be done. There's a lot out there. Some of you, I'm feeling that there is a actual guide or a teacher that seems to be connecting you with you at this time, and that guide is also telling you the same thing. Some of you may have heard my multiple messages over the last week or so that have all been like, go ahead and slow it down. It's okay. We're going to take some time to really hone in on some stuff. I'm getting for some of you, you are trying to forge ahead because you feel as though you're going to be distracted down the road. You're not going to be distracted down the road. This has been in your alignment for a very long time. This is what you've been manifesting, which is why we need to slow it down and make sure that it's just right. We don't have to feel desperately seeking this anymore. We don't have to say when. It's in the process of becoming, and there's a lot that's coming towards you. And so there's no need for you to feel like you're in a hurry, because if you trust and believe and you have faith in your manifestations, in your prayers, in your ritual work, the act of knowing and slowing down is demonstration to spirit that you're ready, that you don't need it to be rushed, that you don't need to control the timing. That is the act of faith that spirit's asking you for. It's saying, hey, slow down. And you're like, no. And it's like, what, don't you believe me? You don't believe me? Of course it's coming. I'm asking you to slow down for a reason. There's more coming. There's a lot more coming. There's other ideas that are popping into your mind. And when we slow down, we allow that message to be fully received and absorbed in a way that we cannot accept and appreciate when we are rush towards this final finish line. There's no rush towards the finish line. We're going to take some. We're going to sit with this. Sit with your ideas. Make sure you're honing them in. Make sure you're being very specific about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Make sure that you're receiving all of the messages from spirit that help guide you in the direction of your manifesting, of your prayers being answered. Sitting with spirit, meditating, a lot of meditating for the next week or two is going to be really beneficial for so many of you. Just taking time to silence your mind. You are overthinking things. You are spending too much time in panic mode. You are spending too much time in this state of anxiety to really, truly receive the messages and the blessings that are being sent to you. So Spirit is asking you to bring it back in. Open up to receive. Yeah, absolutely. If we're focused on what it is that we want and desire, of course we are. Nothing is going to change there, but we are showing spirit that we trust it. And we don't believe that we're going to be losing track of this. This is what we've wanted the whole time. Some of you have recently gotten more in touch with your inner child. I'm getting that you have finally kind of cracked the code on what it was that you really wanted to do and where that came from. Like, how long has it been that you actually did want this? Realizing that you were very young when you had this inclination to head in this direction, And for whatever reason, there was all these detours and difficulties, and then you were kind of sculpted into this individual who lived life a certain way, who had to survive, who had to do the things necessary to exist in this world, which is harder than we often give credit for. And when things are going easy, you lose sight of the difficulties that you endured before. So it's kind of an opportunity for you to sit back and go, okay, so this is where I wanted to be the whole time, and I am heading in that direction. So let me really like spend some time appreciating everything that I experienced throughout that time that led me right back. Isn't that so beautiful? It led you right back to where you began. Cycles. The cycles are so incredible. And when we truly take a moment to appreciate and express our gratitude to Spirit for keeping us on track, if we thought we were lost, we thought we were lost forever. You weren't lost. You were being prepared for something so much bigger. And at that time, you just weren't ready for it because you had it in your mind that you wanted it. And Spirit says, okay, let's get ready. And you thought it was a distraction the whole time, that you thought you were being taken off track, but you never were. You were on track the whole time. And now that you've circled back to this love, this passion that you found when you were a child, for some of you, I'm getting you're going back to school. A lot of you are going back to school, and I'm so proud of you for picking that up. It's such a huge input. It's almost overwhelming, but you are so excited to get back into learning. You're so excited to be able to really hone your focus, and your time and energy is going to go towards something that is so fulfilling to you, and it has felt like it was going to be fulfilling your whole life. And it was something just in the back of your mind this whole time. And Spirit's finally saying, it's time, you're ready. So trust it. Trust it. Trust and believe. It wasn't an accident that detoured you from that. And it's not an accident that you started back here again. We're beginning that next cycle. So let's calm down. Let's relax. When things get difficult, when things get frustrating, when it feels like communication is struggling, when you're feeling a lot of conflict, we're going to pull away from that conflict. We're going to pull back into ourselves, into our true center. And we're going to remember all those difficulties and struggles and how maybe we didn't react so well to those things. But we know better now, and we can do better now. Enjoy the slower speed of things right now. This is not going to be the case forever. It is going to get busy and speed up again. Right now, there's a very specific purpose for this. This lost lack, and we've also got this tenderness. And this is feeding again into this energy of dealing with difficulties and dealing with struggles that are being presented to us. These are the lessons and the tests that you've already went through. You're not losing out on anything that's meant for you. It's not possible. But as long as you sit there in this like feeling sorry for yourself or feeling excessively frustrated that you're dealing with something again, it doesn't benefit you in the way that you're not utilizing the lessons that you've learned. You are always going to find something that feels like it's not enough in your life. There's always going to be some aspect that you would like to improve or that you would like more of. For some of you, it's health. For some of you, it's family relationships. For some of you, it's finances. There's always something that we're working towards. But if we continually find ourselves in this mindset of don't have, can't have, not receiving, and we're in that negative mindset, we're literally feeding that energy back out into the universe. You're not at a lack of anything. Not anything at all. It's all coming to you in the timing when you're prepared for it. And as long as you continually feel that you're at a lack, you're not recognizing what you're not at a lack of. There's so many things that you're already doing well. And it's not that you're totally in a lack anyway. And nobody's doing this to you. Nobody's making this harder on you. In fact, you're not even making this harder on you. This is just the natural cycle of progression through the things that we are manifesting, through the things that we pray for, through our cycles of learning and growing and evolving. This is normal. Why would you look at that and go, well, because of this or because of that? There's absolutely no reason to feel that way. Every single person here has experienced a lack. Every single person has experienced difficulty. Every single person. You might not have seen it as such, but they did. They might not see your suffering as such, but you do. When we take a moment to be present with our real feelings and acknowledge our real feelings, we can then flip them. Perspective is a virtue. If we can flip that, turn it around for someone else. That person that's always got the extra money, that's willing to help you out when you're in a bind, it's because they love you and because they feel like they might not be able to share their real feelings with you, but they can show you their love by sharing their finances with you, because they feel like that exchange is a connection. And they're not looking at that as a lack. They're not looking at what you're experiencing as a lack. You are. There are individuals who are so happy to receive a message from someone in their family. There are people that would be over the moon just to have a hot meal every day. Can you just find a place where you can look at things from the opposite perspective so that you can stop looking at things as though things are happening to you instead of happening for you? They're happening for you because that perspective is necessary, that understanding is necessary. It will produce a type of love, an unconditional type of love for humanity that can only be found through real, actual experiences, and most of them aren't amazing. We have glimmers of beautiful things that happen to us every day, and that's not enough. Of course it's enough. It's more than enough. For some of us, that's all we have. For some people, they would love to have even one moment of a glimmer as you watch your children. They would love for that more than anything. There are some people that see you go out there and buy your groceries every single week and take them home, and that to them would be the most momentous occasion that they can ever consider. And you're going, well, I had to work on a budget. Okay, isn't it beautiful to have a budget to work with, to have any kind of budget? The fact that you can use the word budget and you're not spending it down to your last penny, we don't call that a budget. We call it empty in the pockets. So what we're asking here for is for us to start considering all of the ways that love is shared. All of these tiny little ways that we often feel are very insignificant are just as momentous, are just as critical, and are just as important to your survival as these difficulties that you endure. So when we take that perspective of having compassion, of having understanding, it changes things tremendously for us. It allows you to open yourself up to receive the gifts of the universe in all of their glory, all of the little beautiful things, all of those little moments you start to pay a lot more attention to. As long as you keep that mindset and this mindset of what you need and what you're lacking, you are missing out on all the beautiful experiences that are right in front of you. Forge, don't follow. There are so many ways to accomplish a goal, and for a long time I would observe what other people were doing in order to achieve their goals, and I would find that there would be pieces of their actions or their process that just didn't feel natural to me. There would be some other way that I would have considered. And when I took the time to observe a wider range of individuals, I was able to see a wider perspective of, I like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, I like that. By the time you have taken in all of this perspective, and when you look at these things, and you look at these other successful people doing something similar to what you want or doing what you want to do, if you're not open to taking in all of this information and looking at all this and being willing to welcome this perspective, this gratitude for being able to observe it, being able to be at a place where you can even consider your own journey in this way, you're not fully embracing the opportunity that you have here. You're being given an opportunity to take this knowledge experience and create what is meant for you with all of these tools, all of these resources that you've accumulated, all of this knowledge and perspective that you've accumulated. So while you have been observing other individuals who are successful doing these things, and you've picked and chosen various things that you like and don't like about it, it's now time to step back and say, okay, but what is it that I'm trying to accomplish here? I can utilize this information, but what I want to do is create the path in the way that feels the most authentic and real to me. I need to experience it for myself. So it doesn't really do me any good to hyper focus on what other people have done or are doing. It only benefits me if I'm willing to take the time to address the fact that I may be wanting something that hasn't quite been done in this way before. I'm coming to this opportunity bringing skills and experiences and perspective that may not have been in this position before. I'm choosing a path that maybe hasn't ever been done before. So I cannot hinge my success or my perspective on anything that's come before me. This is all about Spirit saying, but what do you want? How do you want to do it? It doesn't matter what somebody's going to be thinking about how you're doing it. You're doing it your own way. You're doing it the way that feels right to you, even if other people find success in other methods, even if other people have taught you to do it in another way. You don't have to do it in the exact same way that they did. This is about being a leader of yourself. This is about taking the charge of the things that nobody had previously taken charge of. This is about accessing parts of this experience that other people maybe had neglected. This is about you being the kind of person who can step up and say, we know how to do this. We can get this done. We're going to figure this out. Being a supportive, constructive, being the type of team leader, encouraging the people that want to forge along this path with you in a way that you had never had. Maybe you need these other people, but you didn't actually experience it from a team perspective. So now Spirit's saying, you have a team though. And you're like, well, I don't know what to do with a team. Yes, you do. You had watched all that, and now you have an idea in your head. It doesn't necessarily match that. It's a completely different perspective, but you do have it in your mind that you know what you want to accomplish and how you want to accomplish it. You've just spent too much time comparing and contrasting instead of being confident that you are capable, you are enough, you are knowledgeable, you are resourceful, you are a leader. You are not a behind the scenes person. Somebody told you that you were good behind the scenes. They said that you would be better if you stepped back. That was because they were afraid of your power. That was because that they were intimidated by what you were going to bring to the table. So they said you'd be better behind the scenes. They said that you're not a solo artist. You're good in a band though. You're good as a choir though. They said, no, you have great ideas, but you should write. You shouldn't talk. Why would anything that anyone else has to say about my journey change my journey? Well, it comes from those same insecurities that lack perspective comes from. Feeling that you're not enough. Feeling that you don't have enough opportunity, that you are lacking in some area, that things have inhibited you from accomplishing your goals in some way. So therefore, no, none of that's real. This is all about you being more than capable, and it's time for you to get up in front. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to confidently lead. Say, we're going to figure it out. If we don't have all the answers, that doesn't mean any of these struggles are going to stop us. I'm going to work my way through every single one of them. I have done that so far. I'm going to continue. I'm more than capable of that. I know I am, because I have continually overcome every single challenge that has been presented to me thus far. I am more than capable to be at the front of this. I am more than capable of showing others a different way. We have a trifecta of the animal oracle here. We have watching our words, we have co-creating with spirit, and we have bringing a gentle touch. We're finding that the conflicts through Mars retrograde are going to be heightened, and anything that hasn't been addressed is going to immediately create a response. And for some of us, this response is going to be a lot more intense than we have felt in a long time. Felt a little bit of frustration this morning. Something that I thought had been handled was not handled. And I had an intense urge to reach out and say all kinds of things. And then I remembered the guidance from the cards, and I said, it's not worth it. In fact, adding words to this conflict that you're dealing with is going to complicate things even further. And it's just unnecessary. It's not going to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. Your words can be used against you down the road as well. And the wisest of our greatest philosophers have suggested that if you don't have a concrete knowing statement that you can issue from a place of calmness, then it's best to just stay silent. It's best to not address that issue at all. Finding that the gentle touch is far more effective during this time. In fact, in some cases, maybe completely stepping out of the situation and allowing that situation to just pan out in the way that it's going to pan out. And then recognizing that you've made decisions in the past that weren't your best. We all go through this. It's so much easier to come from a place of kindness and compassion and to give the benefit of the doubt. Even when we feel it's not deserved, we're like, it was intentional. This is your sign that you have circled back around these similar situations as a karmic opportunity to set things right and to set things in motion in the way that you want them to, which means that you're addressing these situations in the way that you have in the past, with frustration, with anger, with impatience. It's just simply not what you're supposed to be doing. It is difficult to be quiet when somebody's running their mouth. It is difficult to be patient when you're trying to accomplish something and things keep being tossed in your direction to deal with, and they're not your things that you need to be dealing with. That's the easy way. That's the uninformed, that's the unevolved way, that's the less mature way that you used to deal with things. That's not who you are now. And it's not going to serve you the way that you think it's going to serve you. You're only adding more challenges. You're causing more delays. Be very conscious of the words that you're putting out into the universe right now, because they're coming back at you in full force. So being wise about those words is going to really, really amplify what it is that you're doing in taking those next steps. Co-creating with spirit ties in here, because when we are putting these conflicting energies out into the universe, we are sending conflicting energies out into the universe. What we're trying to accomplish is elevation beyond these difficulties, elevation beyond these frustrating times, these difficulties that you're enduring. But if we're not continually focusing on what it is that we do desire, if we're dipping back into the things that we know that we don't want, if we're giving our energy to the scenarios that we no longer want to be a part of, if we're using the type of methods and techniques that do not serve our purpose, that do not reflect what it is that you're trying to accomplish, you are putting that conflicting energy back out. Spirit is saying we want you to act as if. What is it that you want? Do you want peace? Be peace. Do you want a lack of conflict? Then don't add conflict. Do you want kindness and compassion? Be kind and compassionate. These messages all come through to help guide us, not to chastise us, not to make us feel bad about the behaviors that we've had in the past, or the times that we could have chosen to do better. It's simply a opportunity for us to learn and grow. And if we don't see and think about and consider these behaviors and our patterns, we never have the opportunity to lift ourselves out of them. We're lifting ourselves out of them so that we can continue on our path and create the life that we've been desiring. And that requires us to be existing in that state. It requires us to be kind, compassionate, and understanding, to be patient. It requires us to be peace if we want peace. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you would like a personal reading, please reach out. I'm more than happy to guide you.